I was gonna say hi, John, but you're busy talking. So.
Oh, they're in there right now. It's just the stream starting soon thingy. So nothing to worry about. Huh.
Hi. Oh, I am. Yes. Yes. I'm tired of it too. I think everybody's tired of it.
Did you guys spot the virtual water bottle behind me?
Yes, I did see that. It was new.
Yes, it
Nice.
is. Yeah.
Thank you guys.
What is it?
There's a little mini fridge in here now. It was like the first thing I noticed when I walked in. I was like, oh, that's new.
Yep.
Did the stairwell get replaced too?
They needed
The
it.
stairs?
They needed it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was different color. I was
Yeah,
like,
he's trying to get the
Oh, this is awesome.
yes.
Look at that.
Yeah, it's not the water bottle.
You can just drink some there. It's perfect.
I got my large Sonic drink. You guys.
What's this thing? A calendar?
It's got 100. Yeah.
Okay.
It shows us what the pages move around.
Nice. Well, you guys, we'll go listen in.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Thank you guys.
You're not breaks or anything.
Hopefully none of the breaks.
I shouldn't. Well, my elbow doesn't push the stupid stop button like it did yesterday. We had to do like.
Who read yesterday, do you know?
Madison and Savannah.
How many times have I read? I read, I think, 3 times, 4 times.
I had to read Tuesday because Brandy didn't show up.
Oh, bummer.
Yeah, I had to. Okay, hang on, we go. I'm like, okay.
All right, what the heck?
But then Sarah read.
I was looking
have
on the Taco Bell app, and their enchiladas are back.
They're back. Are they in a box? They weren't in a box.
Like a Lux box?
They were not in a box as of Tuesday when I had one. But
yeah, my mom had one of those. She loved those.
because they're so good. Put them in a box. Put it in a box again. I'll go get it. Damn it. Hey. Oh, that's why. Okay.
Put your enchilada in a box.
Put it in a box.
Yeah. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it.
Where is my door? Okay,
there we go.
My husband's aunt actually used to go there, and she was
Oh, get out of there.
but she really enjoyed the community there. I just got back on Facebook.
Thank you.
Clunk.
Oh, it's doubleheader today for Springfield Cardinals.
Oh yeah, I saw that. I'm like, why there's like 2 games posted?
I did see that.
Because yesterday's game got
they
rained
did make
out.
the game. Oh yeah, but it did. It only kind of poured a bit.
No.
Okay, getting busted poking in the other one. Just waiting. There we go.
After I do the intro.
Okay. I'll pick something simple.
That one's short, but that one works.
This is a cute, quick one. About the.
Oh yeah, I had that one pulled up too because it's one of the only few things in the last day.
I was like, oh. So I'll probably start with that one because it's cute.
Yeah.
I did see that too. A car crash into Brahms restaurant.
Oh yeah, the other day.
But a lot of people were getting mad because they didn't realize the person had a medical emergency, and they're like, why do people keep doing this? Bro couldn't help it.
The time is 10 a.m.
Thank you for tuning in to the Blind Community Thrift Store radio reading service. My name is Tony, and I'm here with Madeline. We invite you to listen to our broadcasts both live and on demand. Our live sessions are available on the Blind Community Thrift Store YouTube channel Monday through Friday between 10 a.m. and 12 p.m. each week. Additionally, you can access on-demand content through the Audio Reader Network, which offers a wide range of audio materials for the visually impaired community. To explore content from the Audio Reader Network, please visit www.reader.ku.edu. The site provides details about accessing content via Amazon Alexa, Audio Reader Network mobile app, and information on receiving a radio to listen to the broadcast by KSMU Radio. All broadcasts are played over KSMU's self-carrier airwaves at 67 kilohertz on 91.1 from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. Contact Audio Reader Network for information on receiving a pre-programmed radio. Madeline, would you like to start us off this morning?
Yes, of course, Tony. Lights, Camera, Fetch. Moxie Cinema launches Dog Academy Awards. This new fundraiser spotlights Springfield area dogs through photos and videos. There's also an awards gala. Here to start us off with, we have a cute little beagle with his big round brown eyes looking into the camera, and there is a tip attached to the photo saying beagles are among the most sensitive scent breeds of dogs. From phone videos to fully produced masterpieces, Springfield's Moxie Cinema is looking for comedy, drama, documentary, and slice-of-life content for a new fundraiser. There is, however, one stipulation. It has to feature your dog. The Moxie Cinema is seeking some new possum filmmakers in advance of the inaugural Dog Academy Awards, a new film festival and fundraiser that supports cinema and local pet rescue organizations. A puppy press release from the movie theater said Springfield's long-standing independent cinema is calling on dog lovers, amateur videographers, and aspiring filmmakers alike to submit short films or even photos starring their four-legged companions for a celebration of furry friends in film. Accepted films will be screened on Sundays in September at the Moxie, giving Springfield audiences a chance to see your dog on the big screen where it belongs. How to submit your pup's pictures and videos. The Dog Academy Awards welcome submissions across 4 categories. The idea is to create opportunities for filmmakers of all skill levels. There is a photo $20 submission fee, a video of 30 seconds or less $15 submission fee, video up to 1 minute is a $20 submission fee, and a video of 5 minutes is a $30 submission fee. Submissions are open through August 15th on the Moxie Cinema's website. You can make a new film or just submit your favorite video that's already on your phone, the media release said. If your dog has ever stolen a pizza off the counter, nailed a brand new trick, or simply stared at you with those eyes, that's your move, and the Moxie wants to screen it. Awards Gala features red carpet, best of screening reel. The festival accumulates with the Dog Academy Awards Gala on Saturday, October 3rd at Mother's Brewing Company. The evening will feature a red carpet photo experience, award presentation, and best of screening reel celebration celebrating the films. The filmmakers are the very good dogs who will make it all possible. We are so excited for this event, Joe Dole, the Moxie's executive director, said in the media release. A big part of the Moxie Cinema is bringing the community together through the power of film, and the Dog Academy Awards is a great way to celebrate our community and hopefully inviting some new people into it. Also, it's dog movies. How fun is that? Not a filmmaker or a dog owner, there are ways to get involved with the new project. The Dog Academy Awards is also seeking volunteers and judges. To learn more about that support, please visit the Moxie Cinema website. Personally, I'm a cat person, don't own a dog, but I would be very thrilled to go see a couple of cute dogs on the big screen.
I have some lovely dogs, but they are not very well behaved. And in other disturbing news, a Springfield man has been convicted of sexually abusing children and sentenced to 127 years in prison. Jackie Rewald with the Springfield Daily Citizen brings us this article that begins with a booking photo of Perry Collins taken by the Greene County Sheriff's Office, wherein he is wearing a white t-shirt and standing in front of a gray cinder block wall and looking a little less than thrilled. A Springfield man recently convicted of sexually abusing 2 children was sentenced last week to 127 years in prison. Perry Deshaun Collins, born 1989, was convicted of 4 counts of statutory sodomy, 1 count of second-degree child molestation, and 3 counts of attempted tampering with a witness. Online court records show Collins represented himself during the 3-day jury trial held in May in Greene County Judge Joshua Christensen's courtroom. The jury deliberated for about an hour on May 13th before returning with its guilty on all charges verdict. On June 16th, Judge Christensen sentenced Collins to 25 years for each of the statutory sodomy counts, 15 years for the child molestation charge, and 4 years for each of the attempted tampering charges, all to be served consecutively. The Daily Citizen did not attend the trial, but according to the charging documents, Collins sexually abused 2 minor victims on multiple occasions. The charging documents contain a second probable cause statement filed after Collins was arrested in 2024 and detail why prosecutors charged him with 3 counts of attempted tampering with a witness in a felony prosecution. According to that probable cause statement, Collins would routinely have jail calls with someone identified as Witness 1 who had custody of the 2 victims. The account Witness 1 used to communicate with Collins was not in her name, rather it was in the name of a relative of Witness 1. According to the statement, during at least one of the video calls, Witness 1 had the victims talk to Collins. At the time, a preliminary hearing for Collins was set for May 6, 2024. On May 4, 2024, Collins placed a telephone call, which was recorded, as are all jail calls, to Witness 1. During this call, Collins encouraged Witness 1 to not come to the preliminary hearing. Collins told Witness 1, quote, "No witness, no effing case," and that if they don't come to the hearing, the case would be dismissed. The only thing that can send me to jail is them showing up, and I can't fight it. I'm gone for 30, 40 years, Collins said in that jail call. The only thing that can save me is nobody showing up here. On May 5th, 2024, Collins placed another call to Witness 1, again encouraging her to not come to the preliminary hearing. According to the statement, Witness 1 did not appear at the preliminary hearing on May 6, 2024. The state was granted a continuance due to the victims not being present, and the judge issued a material witness warrant to ensure all the parties would be present. The preliminary hearing was held at the end of May 2024, and the judge ruled there was enough evidence to move the case forward. Collins was arrested in February 2024 and remained in the Greene County Jail until this past week when he was transferred to the Missouri Department of Corrections. Collins' criminal history includes multiple felony convictions, including first-degree robbery in 2016. Online court records show Collins intends to appeal.
MSU budget for 2026-27 reflects reduced income but avoids deficit. Here we have a photo of President Richard Williams presenting the 25 strategic plan on Monday, September 22nd of 2025. Missouri State University is prepared for a tight budget year in 2026-2027. The university's Board of Governors is set to meet at 8 a.m. Friday morning in West Plains to consider the budget. It calls for a $340 million in revenue and $338 million in expenses across its 2 campaigns. The budget is highlighted by a downturn in enrollment and flat funding from the state. It reflects spending restraints through granting no raises for employees and reducing several positions through attrition. It also avoids deficit spending with surplus of $2 million. President Richard B. Williams said that the university is prepared to watch expenses and it expressed confidence in the enrollment fueling a majority of MSU's revenue. In the old days, when students said they were coming, they were coming. Now they can come and put a deposit down, but then they don't show up, Williams said. It's hard to tell until you get to the census, but I've been really proud of our institution. They've really looked at our expenses and our finances. Matt Morris, Vice President for Administrative Services, and Cindy Scholl, Assistant Vice President of Finance and Accounting, detailed the budget Thursday, June 25th, during a meeting in West Plains. They showed the effect of declining enrollment and reduced state funding, 2 factors that the university has been anticipating for months. For its income, the university is hoping to raise at least $200 million from tuition and fees, but the $2.7 million more than previous year. Combined with about a 5% increase in tuition and fees, flat enrollment projections for new students will create a surplus, Scholl said. But that surplus will be eaten by an extended decrease in returning students, she said. Enrollment accounts for one of the largest portions of Missouri State's income for the 26-27 year, roughly about 60%. The university's headcount has been record-breaking over the past 2 years, but that figure has been skewed with an influx of dual-credit high school students who don't pay nearly as much in tuition fees as traditional students. The university has more expenses this year, a more than $2.1 million increase in its payment to the MOSERS retirement system is due, and Scholl said the university has increased costs for utilities, supplies, and services based on the new buildings and expansions that will be opened in the upcoming school year. An allocation from the state is projected to come in at $111 million from Governor Mike Kehoe. It's expected to sign the budget before the end of the month and has the ability to make line item vetoes. My apologies. State funding is projected to worsen a year from now. Williams said that the university is preparing to deal with that possibility. Portions of the university's strategic plan call for boosting its enrollment through measured initiatives that will roll out throughout the year. We prepare for each budget 2 years in advance, Williams said. We are right now prepared to make our budget, and then what we'll do now is read the tea leaves and see what's going to happen with the budget. Probably throughout the year, we'll start making measured adjustments, but our approach is to be on the offense.
And we are poking around this morning. Black Lives Matter and pride flags have been stolen again at the Unitarian Universalist Church, and they're saying it's time to grease the pole. Steve Pokin brings us this story with the Springfield Daily Citizen that begins with a photo of the Rainbow Pride and the Black Lives Matter flags, as well as the American flag at the Unitarian Universalist Church on Battlefield Road. Looks like they were stolen once again in early June, and they were replaced, and this time the flagpole was greased with Crisco oil. The First Unitarian Universalist Church of Springfield for years has displayed a Black Lives Matter and a pride flag along with the American flag to proclaim to passing motorists on Battlefield Road that the church supports those communities. Quote, "There are a lot of people who come here because they see those flags and that makes them think this is a safe place to be," says the Reverend Michelle Scott Huffman, the church's pastor since June of 2020. And for years, people have been stealing those flags. Following is a photo of the Reverend Michelle Scott Huffman as she gives a tour of the main worship room earlier this week here in Springfield. The blurry videos from the camera at the door show that the culprits appear to be, this will shock you, young men. I suspect that it's someone who thinks we're not doing Christianity right, Scott Huffman says. But the UU Church isn't Christian, she adds. Most recently, the flags were stolen in the early morning of June 7th. New flags kept in reserve were hoisted, and this time parishioner Bob Eccles greased the flagpole with Crisco oil. So far, so good. If another attempt is made, I certainly want to see that video. In 2024, Eccles raised the cleat on the flagpole a few feet to make it more difficult to steal the flags. He has experience in these matters. He once was director of facilities management at Missouri State University. He retired in 2015. Scott Huffman does not know if the Black Lives Matter flag is collateral damage. To get to the pride flag, you also have to take the Black Lives Matter flag. The thieves left behind Bible verses from 1 Corinthians, handwritten on white cloth. There's a photo here of one of those white cloths as Michelle Scott Huffman holds that up for everyone to read. It looks like a verse from 1 Corinthians 6:9, but it's misspelled. So it actually says 1 Corinthians 6:9. It looks like it was meant to be a flag, but instead they just left it wrapped around our sign, Scott Huffman says. The verses say, in part, quote, "Neither the sexually immoral, nor idolaters, nor adulterers, nor homosexuals, nor thieves, nor the greedy, nor those habitually drunk, nor verbal abusers, nor swindlers will inherit the kingdom of God." She says the hostility that's focused on the church involves LGBTQ issues, not Black Lives Matters. Only the thieves can clarify the matters, she adds. But that's asking a lot of people who visit in the dark of night to filch flags. The Springfield Church embraces the teachings of many religious faiths, she says, as well as secular humanism, a belief system based on human reason and logic that rejects religious dogma, supernaturalism, mysticism, and superstition as the basis of morality. In other words, Scott Huffman says, it makes no sense to use Christian scripture to condemn a non-Christian church. It's a little misdirected, she says. Scott Huffman is, in fact, a Christian minister. She graduated from Phillips Theological Seminary in Tulsa. Of the 70 to 80 people who attend worship, she says, she's one of only a handful who describe themselves as Christian. Quote, "If you go in our sanctuary, there are all these banners that represent lots of different religious traditions," she says. Christianity is one of them, but only one of them. I'm an ordained Christian minister, but I'm probably one of only a handful of Christians who are part of this congregation. Speaking as a Christian minister, she adds, the person fond of the 1 Corinthians text does not fully understand it. The verse is part of what Scott Huffman and other progressive Christians call, quote, clobber texts, often used by conservative Christians to argue that homosexuality is a sin. There are about 8 of them, she says, as opposed to the 2,200 verses that talk about how we should take care of our neighbors who are poor and in need. It makes me wonder, wouldn't it be nice if Christians knew what the most important texts are in the Bible, which at times offers what can appear to be contradictory messages? Wait a minute, it does. It's in the Gospel of Matthew, where Jesus says, quote, you should love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your mind. This is the greatest and first commandment. And a second is like it. You shall love your neighbor as yourself. On these 2 commandments hang all the law and prophets. The flags were stolen twice in November of 2024. After the first theft, Eccles raised the cleat a few feet. You can't get to it unless you get a ladder or you put somebody else on your shoulders, Eccles says. And 2 weeks later, that's what happened. The blurry video shows one young male getting on the shoulders of another young male to steal the flags. The flags cost $25 to $30 to replace. I asked Scott Huffman if the thefts are threatening or annoying or, when you throw in the grease pole, funny. Quote, I think it's all of the above, really, she says. I've received an anonymous letter that was left on the stairs of the church, and I've received an email just within the last 3 weeks, seemingly from different people. I've received some kind of condemnation on the work I do as the minister here, and certainly a condemnation on the beliefs of this church. I think for folks who are in this space, who are some of the more liberal-leaning folks in a place that in a lot of ways can be very conservative, I think they're always a little careful about how they operate and talk. I think it's just a heightened sense of awareness right now. Eccles has attended the Unitarian Universalist Church in Springfield since 2005. The flag thefts for him have created a little bit of trepidation. I mean, in this crazy world, we know that we could be a target, he says. The church reports the thefts to police, he says. We keep on keeping on, Eccles says. We think we've got a good message that we're just trying to be good to all people. There's a photo here of Bob Eccles, who is a member of the First Unitarian Universalist Church, the one who decided to grease the flagpole in an effort to deter the thieves in the future. When the flags were stolen, we were trying to figure out what's the best response that we should have. There are those who say we ought to lurk behind some bushes and grab them, Eccles says. Instead, Eccles thought of Braver Angels, a bipartisan nonprofit created in 2016 and dedicated to political depolarization. Eccles and another church member have set up a coffee shop meeting with people connected to a more conservative church. At this point, Eccles says the details are few, and for now he'd like to keep them to himself. The starting point of the discussion likely will be what the 2 sides agree on. He's got an idea. Jesus in the Sermon on the Mount put out some pretty solid stuff, he says. There's a photo here of an open laptop displaying a security video, and it does say the church has a security camera. This video records a theft but cannot identify the thieves or the license plate on the vehicle. And this is Poking Around column number 361.
Maximum price set for new Bingham Elementary construction. Bingham is one of the final 3 schools to be built from a $220 million bond issued passed by voters in 2023. And here we have a photo of the demolition of Bingham Elementary. A mural along this wall has been removed and it will be reinstalled in a new building. With the approval of guaranteed maximum price, construction will soon start on a new Bingham Elementary. The Springfield Board of Education on Tuesday, June 23rd, approved a guaranteed maximum price of $24 million for the construction of the new school. Sean Dilday, Executive Director of Operations, told the board that the price came in above an earlier estimate of $22 million, but that the new maximum price is within the project's total cost of $27 million. The price includes a contingency fund of $680,000, and he said the addition of about 3,000 square feet for additional offices and other spaces. Nabholz Construction was chosen last year as construction manager to risk for the project. It calls for an about 65,000 square foot building at the current site located at 2126 East Cherry Street, Nabholz will now be held responsible for keeping construction costs at that price. The price includes demolition of the old school, which was built in 1956. The demolition was bid out and started early in order to meet a targeted completion for the 2027 school year. 2 popular murals have been removed for installation in the new school, Dilday said. Under the construction manager at risk model, more than 124 subcontractors submitted bids for 32 different construction elements. The compilation of all those individual elements is what adds up to the guaranteed maximum price. Bingham is the second largest elementary school in SPS behind Disney Elementary, with a student population of more than 420 students and 52 staff members. The new building will offer more space and modernized classrooms. Bingham students will attend the former Jarrett School building in the 2026-2027 school year. Bingham is one of the final 3 schools to be built out of the $222 million bond issue passed by voters in 2023. The other 2 schools were Bissett Elementary and Pershing Middle School, and they both had groundbreaking scheduled for later this month. Those groundbreakings have been postponed because of excessive rain, pretty much saturnizing the grounds at both building sites. Bissett has rescheduled to 5:30 p.m. on Tuesday, July 7th at the school, and then Pershing has also been rescheduled to 5:30 p.m. on Thursday, July 9th at the school. A groundbreaking ceremony has not yet been set for Bingham.
And a Republic School Board president charged with domestic assault is the son of an ex-Brookline fire chief convicted of rape in January. Steve Pokin brings us this story as well with the Springfield Daily Citizen that begins with a photo of Terry and Larry McConnell, their booking photos, their individual booking photos from the Greene County Jail. At one point this week, father and son Larry and Terry McConnell were both in the Greene County Jail. Terry Lee McConnell, age 45, president of the Republic School Board, is facing a charge of domestic assault. He has been released on a $25,000 bond and is being represented by Matt Russell, the former mayor of Republic. Terry McConnell's father, former longtime Brookline fire chief Larry McConnell, was convicted of rape earlier this year. The former fire chief was found guilty of 1 count of statutory sodomy and 1 count of second-degree rape by a Greene County jury in January. He was sentenced to prison for 10 years on May 18th with credit for time served. For decades, Larry McConnell, age 76, was a prominent figure in a part of Republic once known as Brookline. According to court documents, the incident involving Terry McConnell occurred early Saturday morning. He allegedly had been in an argument with the victim before the incident took place. Terry McConnell allegedly entered the victim's room while she was sleeping, held a loaded handgun to his own head, and stated, "Tonight's the night." The victim attempted to take the gun from McConnell to prevent him from firing it. He pushed the victim into a door during the struggle, according to court documents. The victim reportedly sustained a large cut on her arm and then locked the gun in a safe. The prosecutor wrote that there were 2 juveniles in the residence and McConnell was intoxicated when the incident took place. Following is a photo of Terry McConnell from the Republic School District looking very different than he did in his booking photo. Here we see him in a suit and a bright yellow tie and a crisp white shirt, clean cut, smiling for the camera, versus his booking photo where he is wearing a faded t-shirt and looking less than thrilled and not quite as clean cut. Terry McConnell had a brush with the law over 20 years ago when he was a Brookline firefighter and his father was chief. Terry McConnell and fellow Brookline firefighter James Chris Justice were both charged with the felonies of second-degree arson and second-degree burglary. They were accused of pouring gasoline and charcoal lighter fluid on the floor of an abandoned house in Republic on February 4th, 2000. 3 fellow firefighters sustained minor injuries when the roof of the building collapsed. In a 2002 plea deal, Justice pleaded guilty to arson and the burglary charge was dropped. A July 31st, 2002 news story in the Springfield News-Leader stated a trial date for Terry McConnell had not been set. There is no current record on CaseNet, Missouri's online database of court cases, of what happened to the charges against Terry McConnell. There is no public record, other than news stories, which identified him as the son of the chief, that he was ever charged with the felonies of burglary and arson. Documents filed last week explained what happened. Terry McConnell was found guilty of burglary and was given a suspended imposition of sentence, which meant that if he followed the terms of his probation, the charge would go off his record and he would not be considered convicted of a crime. In fact, Terry McConnell rose to the rank of lieutenant in the Brookline Fire Department, according to a 2005 news story in the Springfield News-Leader. Although Brookline no longer exists, the Brookline Fire Protection District does. Terry McConnell was first elected to the Republic School Board in 2023, according to the school district's website. On Monday, the district sent the following statement to the Daily Citizen in an email. Quote, "We are aware of the situation involving Mr. Terry McConnell. We do not have all of the details right now. However, we can share that this personal matter is not related to his service with the Republic School District. When we gather more information, the Board of Education will determine how to move forward."
Here we have former state troopers squaring off with ex-state representative in race for Christian County presiding commissioner. Here we have a photo of Jared Taylor and Terry Bible looking both excited for their pictures. Two Republican candidates are vying for presiding commissioner in Christian County's August 4th primary election. Jared Taylor, a former state representative, and Terry Bible, a retired Missouri State Highway Patrol trooper. Presiding Commissioner Len Morris, 77, did not file for re-election. He told the Daily Citizen in late May that he expects to retire from his career as an elected official after finishing this term. "This country has been good to me," he said. Taylor, Bible, and all other candidates for elected positions in Christian County filed as Republican. Only the race for presiding commissioner is contested. Here we have a photo of Terry Bible looking relaxed for his picture, smiling for the camera. Bible is a longtime resident of Southwest Missouri with almost 30 years of experience in law enforcement. He served in the U.S. Marine Corps from 1990 to 1995 and went to join Missouri State Highway Patrol, Troop D, retiring in 2025. Now he lives in Spokane and works part-time for the Taney County Sheriff's Office. Bible said he has considered running for the office for 20 years and is ready to take on a new full-time role in the public service. "I'm 53 and I feel like I have a lot left to give to my community," he said. Bible said he is good with budgets and numbers, and his background in law enforcement trained him for leadership, conflict resolution, and managing time and people. "I've dealt with people from all walks of life. Some are on their worst days, and just understand how to be a person and to serve, the people in the community." If he is elected, Bible said he looks forward to helping county employees with incentives and benefits, an area for which he has some different ideas. He said he is always going to try to save our taxpayers' dollars and will work to negotiate contracts between companies and the county to save as much money as possible. "The need for more infrastructure is one of the biggest challenges that Christian County is facing," Bible said. "With the overall growth comes a need for more infrastructure. More and more vehicles are traveling the roadways. The more vehicles you have, the more repairs that are needed. And so it stresses those roads," he said. And here we have a photo of Jared Taylor also looking pretty relaxed on a bench for his photo. Taylor moved to Christian County about 20 years ago when he began working in loss prevention at Bass Pro Shops in Branson. He was elected to the Missouri House of Representatives in 2014 and chaired several committees during his 8 years in office. "I was known as the gun guy. I was a huge Second Amendment supporter," he said, describing the Second Amendment Provision Act as crowning achievement. He also said he worked on several other issues in different committees, including government oversights, issues in the Children's Division, and medical marijuana. Taylor now lives in the Clever area and works for Congressman Eric Burleson at the Springfield District Office. He said one reason he would be a good commissioner is because he has found ways to pare down subjects in both private sector and in the state government. "Transportation is one of Christian County's biggest challenges," Taylor said, "and the county needs to do a better job of getting people east and west in particular. Being able to get from one side of the district to the other is difficult, especially during those rush hour times, and a 2-lane road on 14 and CC isn't cutting it. So we need to think outside the box," Taylor said. Christian County also needs to decide on its direction for growth over the next 10 to 15 years, Taylor said. If that is bringing in industry, if it's bringing in manufacturing, let's start working towards that. How do we bring in infrastructure to make sure that those are successful, and how do we recruit those businesses in order to think that far down the road? As he prepares to retire, Morris said his proudest achievement in Christian County is increasing transparency. He pushed to live stream and post commission meetings on YouTube and started a new newsletter for residents. The more we can connect our people with county government, they're going to understand what we're trying to do. I've asked both the candidates to continue these things, Morris said. The presiding commissioner and revenue will be Christian County's most significant challenge moving forward. In early 2025, the county fired at least 2 people and shut down its recycling plant to save money. The biggest challenge we have is making people understand that the business model that we've had for over 100 years is not going to continue to work. Our sales tax growth is not keeping up with inflation and expenses, Morris said.
And ESPN's Matt Miller loses an arm after a serious car accident in Missouri. Ahmed Jawadi with USA Today Network brings us this story through the Springfield News-Leader that says ESPN draft analyst and Missouri native Matt Miller revealed he'd lost his left arm following a serious car accident in the state. Last week, I was involved in a serious car accident in Missouri and was airlifted to Mercy Hospital, Miller wrote on social media. As a result of the accident, I sustained significant injuries, including multiple fractures and broken ribs. I also underwent a life-saving amputation of my left arm. Miller said he was, quote, deeply grateful for the care he received from the medical staff at Mercy Hospital, adding that he was incredibly fortunate to be writing this post. He also thanked well-wishers for their overwhelming support and said he looks forward to his recovery and getting back to ESPN to talk football. The crash took place at around 3:50 p.m. Central Time on Wednesday, June 17th. Miller was driving a 2023 Ford Bronco eastbound on Missouri Route 96 in Jasper County when he crossed the center line and struck the front driver's side of a semi-tractor trailer, according to the crash report. Miller was the only person injured in the accident and was flown to Mercy Hospital in Joplin for treatment. Miller is a Joplin native and a Missouri Southern State University alumnus, according to his ESPN bio. The father of 2 joined ESPN as a year-round draft analyst in 2022 after serving as Bleacher Report's lead NFL draft writer from 2010 to 2021. He made his on-air debut during the 2023 NFL Draft in Kansas City. Miller appears on multiple ESPN shows, including NFL Live, Sports Center, and Get Up. Before his career in media, Miller worked as director of scouting for New Era Scouting and a coach and recruiting coordinator for the Joplin Crusaders, a Central Midwest Football League team.
Speaking of car accidents, car crashes into Brahms Restaurant on East Sunshine Street. Here we have a photo of Springfield police and what looks like a Kia Soul trying to back out of the Brahms building. A car crashed into the front window of the Brahms restaurant on East Sunshine Street in Springfield on Wednesday afternoon, June 24th. An employee told the Daily Citizen no one inside the store was hurt, thankfully. By 6 p.m., a tow truck had arrived to remove the vehicle. A district manager said the restaurant could be open again as soon as Thursday. That was a quick, short one. My apologies. I thought there would be more.
Well, as we approach the holiday next weekend, we got a couple of quick articles here about how to stay safe. First up, we have a staff report from the USA Today Network brought to us through the Springfield News-Leader that offers tips to help veterans with PTSD on July 4th. Many Americans celebrating our nation's independence on July 4th may inadvertently create a bad experience for some of our country's veterans. Even though fireworks are meant to entertain us, it is not uncommon for the sounds, intense light, or smells to cause distress, the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs says. Those who have gone through a trauma that included explosions, gunfire, loud noises, or fire may be more likely to find fireworks to be a reminder, a trigger, or cue of such past events. The good news is there are things that can be done to better accommodate veterans on a day we celebrate independence. The VA offers these specific tips whether you're hosting a backyard party or a community event at a park. Consider the meaning and value of using fireworks versus other alternatives like sparklers or light shows. If possible, ask guests if fireworks are a difficult reminder. Notify guests ahead of time if fireworks are a part of the celebration. Set a specific time or announce the start of fireworks so guests can plan for their own needs. Center activities around themes other than loud fireworks. Create space so that guests can be in small groups rather than a large crowd. And show compassion. You can choose the celebration you want, and at the same time, you can respect the decisions others make for self-care. If you find that fireworks or other trauma reminders are very distressing and hard to manage, treatment can help, the VA says. Learning to respond to trauma reminders rather than react to them can make a difference in your level of distress. You can learn to turn a trigger, a reminder that sets off an automatic reaction, into a cue that you respond to in a way that feels safe and healthy. It may feel more comfortable to avoid these events. This is a short-term fix that may worsen the problem over time. You may feel dread for specific dates or events each year. Try to remind yourself of the present, what's happening around you right now rather than the past. Learn if fireworks will be part of a celebration and the timing of the display. Talk with someone close to you about your concerns and invite them along. Prior to the event, work on self-care, good sleep, breathing techniques, journaling, mindfulness, limiting alcohol to be at your best. Choose activities that are healthy and safe for you. Consider bringing earplugs or headphones. And download the free mobile apps, Mindfulness Coach or PTSD Coach. Veterans in crisis in distress can dial 988 and press 1 to reach the Veterans Crisis Line. If you know that fireworks are a trauma reminder for someone you care about, ask them about how you can best offer support. Your friend or family member will likely have ideas and tips that are best for them. There are also ways you can help in the moment if fireworks create sudden or unexpected reactions. Ask the person if there's anything you can do. Offer words of support like, "You're safe, I'm here with you now." Help the person remember the present environment. You're at a party, concert, whatever, and it's safe here. And offer to do a breathing technique or mindfulness activity in the moment. And veterans aren't the only ones that might be distressed on the 4th of July. Here are 5 tips for how to keep your pets safe during 4th of July fireworks. This is from Catherine Hill with the South Bend Tribune, brought to us through the Springfield News-Leader. Humans, more or less, watch 4th of July fireworks in awe and excitement. Animals, meanwhile, are annually confused and frightened by the explosions that appear to come directly from the sky. But there are precautions pet owners can take ahead of the holiday to ensure safety and minimize anxiety for all in the home during the festivities, as outlined by Nancy Whiteman, Assistant Executive Director and Vice President of Pet Refuge in South Bend, Indiana. First of all, I would try to keep them inside as much as possible, Whiteman said. Fireworks can be so frightening to them that they might jump a fence when they would have never jumped a fence otherwise. So I would suggest keeping them indoors. If you have to take them out, then take them on a leash. Whiteman said that while pets are indoors, there are a variety of methods homeowners can use to keep their pets calm, including thunder shirts, which Whiteman finds personally helpful for her own pets at home. Thunder shirts, according to their retail website, are vet recommended and used to help millions of dogs and cats to feel calmer in stressful situations, such as fireworks or thunderstorms. The shirt applies gentle, constant pressure to calm all types of anxiety, fear, and overexcitement issues, similar to that of swaddling an infant. The vest is priced at $49.99 for dogs. Whiteman advised drowning out the booms and cracks of fireworks with an even louder noise, such as music or the ambient white noise of a box fan. That's just enough to soothe them and keep the noise level down, she said, adding, I also know people that have had a little den in their closets, a closet somewhere that's isolated in the basement, that kind of thing, where they're just away from the noise. It's just a temporary thing, of course. Whiteman added, if your dog wants to get under the bed during that time, let it get under the bed because that's where they feel safe. If the dog has severe anxiety, a lot of times veterinarians will suggest some medication for them, Whiteman said. Cornell University's College of Veterinary Medicine reported in a June 2016 press release that it is best if any medications have been tried prior to the stressful event so that the dose can be adjusted as needed. As such, the college suggests pet owners make sure to schedule a veterinary appointment at least 1 week in advance of the anticipated event. Whiteman said animal shelters in the South Bend area are expecting to see a rise in the number of phone calls they receive with regard to missing pets that may have jumped the fence instinctually. Although she could not cite a statistical numerical rise, she said the rise of lost animals after the patriotic holiday is so true. Whiteman said that if a pet were to escape the home, the best thing pet owners can do to ensure they return safely and promptly is keep the animal's collar on before it can escape and make sure microchips are updated.
Here we have Nixa High School Complex gets new Cox Health name and support. Cox Health is partnering with Nixa Public Schools to sponsor the complex at Nixa High School, according to a community announcement. The agreement, which takes effect July 1st, will rename the facility the complex presented by Cox Health. The multi-year partnership aims to enhance student success, athlete health, and community involvement. The complex is a multi-use campus that includes the Apex, the Atos Center, and the Performing Arts and Eagle Stadium. It serves Nixa students in the Springfield metropolitan area, hosting thousands of athletes, performers, families, and visitors annually. In times like these, where public education dollars are being cut, having partners like Cox Health gives us the ability to keep moving forward. It also allows us to do more with our local and state funding, Gerald Loden, the superintendent of Nixa Public Schools, said in the announcement. Loden added that the partnership will help the district continue to develop the complex while maintaining its focus on long-term goals for students and the community. And here we have a photo of the Nixa High School marching band practicing at the new complex presented by Cox Health. It looks like, for all you band nerds out there, they are doing a slide to the right. Cox Health to provide medical support for student athletes. One of the key aspects of the partnership is Cox Health's commitment to the health of Nixa student athletes. Cox Health supports medicine physicians, will provide support to the athletes competing at the complex as well as all Nixa athletic facilities. This agreement reflects a shared belief that healthy students are better learners, better competitors, and better community members. Tim Jones, Cox Health Executive Vice President and Chief Physician Executive, said in the announcement. We believe that a health system deeply rooted in Southwest Missouri has a meaningful role to play in supporting the next generation, and this agreement lets us do that. The partnership will also integrate health and wellness resources into the daily experiences of Nixa students, families, and community members. Cox Health will offer community health programming and activations, making quality health resources accessible in a familiar environment. Health and wellness messaging covering topics such as nutrition, hydration, and injury prevention will also be incorporated into the athletic programming throughout the year. Cox Health educational materials will also be included in classrooms and learning spaces connected to Nixa's medical training and healthcare education programs, creating early exposure to healthcare careers for students, according to the announcement. This partnership will provide funding to help make the complex a high-quality location for events and activities. It will also lay the groundwork for future development, allowing the district to move quickly and effectively when it comes time to build new projects on the high school campus. Together, Nixa Public Schools and Cox Health are building something that goes far beyond a sponsorship, Kyle Brown, Cox Health Vice President of Marketing and Communications, said in the announcement. We are building a long-term community partnership designed to make the complex a healthier, stronger, and more connected place for everyone who calls the Nixa area their home. The partnership also includes collaboration on community programming, health activations, and educational initiatives. The complex name and location will encompass the high school campus between Nichols Road and Gray Road in Nixa.
We are currently broadcasting live from the Blind Community Thrift Store situated at 2713 North Kansas Expressway in Springfield, Missouri. For information about our store, please visit our official website at www.blindcommunitythriftstore.com. To explore more of our video content, including movie reviews with Matt and Meredith, adaptive technology training videos, and other informative material, please visit our YouTube channel by searching for Blind Community Thrift Store. Our organization is dedicated to supporting the blind community through various initiatives, and our online platforms serve as valuable resources for community engagement and education. And in fresh news this morning, we have some photos here of the 2026 Springfield Daily Citizen Athlete of the Year banquet. This is brought to us by the Daily Citizen staff and begins with a photo of Haley Buckman, who will be attending Southeast Missouri University to play basketball, alongside Hayden Mays, who will be attending Auburn University for track during the upcoming 26-27 season. They are both dressed very nicely and standing in front of a backdrop that says Springfield Daily Citizen and has their logo, and they're both holding little plaques. Haley Buckman of Logan Rogersville and Hayden Mays of Nixa were recognized as the 2025-2026 Springfield Daily Citizen Athletes of the Year at a banquet on Thursday at Twin Oaks Country Club, this year's sponsor of the awards ceremony. Buckman, a 6-foot guard, recently graduated from Logan Rogersville as the school's all-time leading scorer with 2,156 points. The two-time All-State basketball and volleyball selection is continuing her hoops career at Division I Southeast Missouri State. She received a $1,000 Springfield Daily Citizen Athlete of the Year scholarship courtesy of Absolute Dental Care. Mays recently concluded his virtuoso Nixa track and field career, which included medaling at state in discus his freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior seasons, taking 5th, 3rd, runner-up, and runner-up places respectively there, with a career best toss of 194 feet, 9.25 inches. He also had 3 state runner-up medals in the shot put with a career best mark of 62 and 11.5. Mays, an all-state offensive lineman for the Class 6 Power Nixa football team, will throw at Auburn in the fall. He received a $1,000 Daily Citizen Male Athlete of the Year scholarship courtesy of Dumpster417.com. Absolute Dental Care, Dumpster417.com, Mercy, and Nesbitt Construction sponsored the Daily Citizen Athlete of the Week and Athlete of the Year awards for the 25-26 school year. You can learn more about the accomplishments of Buckman, Hayes, and the Daily Citizen's Athlete of the Year voting process at sgfcitizen.org.
Here we have Greene County Library grant aiming to boost early literacy for kids. The Springfield Greene County Library Foundation has been awarded a $25,000 grant to support a new early literacy initiative. The funding from the Dar Family Foundation will go towards Ladders to Literacy, a program designed to enhance school readiness by providing child care providers with early literacy tools, according to a community announcement. The library district will partner with about 40 child care classrooms across Greene County, prioritizing those that serve children with the greatest needs. The 2-year initiative will provide early childhood providers with practical tools and training to incorporate research-based early literacy practices into their daily routines. The funding will support program development, educational materials, classroom resources, professional training, and books for participating children. Bridget Dierks, Executive Director of the Library Foundation, said that investing in early childhood education is one of the most effective ways the library can help improve literacy outcomes for young children. We know that children from low-income households often face barriers when learning to read, Dierks said in the announcement. Our library district can help them by bringing reading tools, lessons, and fun activities directly to caregivers and educators so early literacy becomes a part of their everyday interactions. The initiative builds on the library's Racing to Read early literacy framework and is part of the district's goal to connect new users and underserved communities with library programs and services, according to the announcement. Heather Zaromsky, Executive Director of the Dar Family Foundation, said that the foundation's mission is to empower under-resourced youth to overcome barriers to opportunity. The foundation recognizes that one of the most important indicators of a child's future success is early literacy, Zaromsky said in the announcement. We are excited about this partnership and grateful that we have an incredible library system providing these opportunities to our youngest readers. For more information about the library's strategic plan, please visit thelibrary.org/standard-pages/mission-statement.
Several obituaries to share this week, beginning with Lawrence Fiske, age 101, of Columbia, Missouri. Fortified with the sacraments of Holy Mother Church, Lawrence Fiske passed away peacefully on June 15, 2026, at the age of 101. Those arrangements are being handled by Gorman Scharf Funeral Home. Betty D. Squibb of Bodark, 97, passed away June 22nd, 2026. Her arrangements are being provided by Wilson Griffin Funeral Home. Those services are to be held tomorrow, June 27th at 10 a.m. at Yeakley Cemetery. Ellis Ward Sneed passed away. I apologize here. He has a very long obituary, and the details are scarce. Mr. Ellis Ward Sneed was 86 of Billings, Missouri, and those arrangements are being handled by Metters Funeral Home. Cale David Schmitz, age 23, of St. Joseph, Missouri, went home to his Lord on June 15, 2026, as the result of an agricultural plane accident. Those arrangements are being provided by Bach Yeager Funeral Chapel. Darrell E. Evans, age 74, of Springfield, Missouri, passed away June 21st, 2026. His arrangements are being provided by Greenlawn Funeral Home South. Barbara Sue Trott, age 94, of Springfield, Missouri, passed away on June 11th, 2026. Her arrangements are being provided by Snap Bearden Funeral Home and Crematory. Delinda Ann Marling, age 90, passed away June 23rd, 2026. Her arrangements are being provided by Gorman Scharf Funeral Home. Those services to be held on June 30th at 11 a.m. at Hamlin Baptist Church and Mount Olive Cemetery in Doolittle, Missouri. Finally, Amy Elizabeth Rich passed away Thursday, June 11th, 2026 in St. Louis, Missouri at the age of 47. Her arrangements are being handled by Schrader Funeral Home and Crematory. Our condolences go to the family and friends of all of those who have passed.
Here we have 24 Missourians charged in national healthcare fraud investigation. The U.S. Department of Justice has charged more than 450 people, including more than 24 Missouri residents, in connection with global healthcare fraud schemes totaling a record of $6.5 billion. The DOJ wrote in a news release on June 23rd that the alleged fraud and opioid abuse schemes involved 455 people across 45 states who submitted false claims to Medicare, Medicaid, and other healthcare programs and caused significant patient harm, including death. 90 doctors and other licensed medical professionals are among those charged in the schemes. In all, 56 federal districts and 50 state Medicaid fraud control units participated in the investigation, the most in DOJ's history. Healthcare fraud steals from taxpayers, exploits vulnerable patients, and puts lives at risk, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. said, "Today's historic enforcement action sends a clear message. If you use our healthcare system to enrich yourself at the expense of patients or the American people, we will find you and we will prosecute you and hold you accountable." Since June 8th, hundreds of defendants have been arrested in connection with the schemes and what the DOJ is calling the 2026 National Healthcare Fraud Takedown. In one case in Arizona, Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche said a corporate executive allegedly took $1 billion in taxpayer funds after billing for wound grafts and charging more than $1 million per patient. The money was later allegedly used to buy a $1 million home, luxury cars, and even build a hotel in the Philippines. In another case in Florida, 3 defendants were charged for their roles in a $118 million allograft fraud scheme where a nurse practitioner allegedly used the proceeds to fund their lavish lifestyles, including a luxury box at an NFL stadium and over $400,000 in fine art. 24 Missourians have been charged in the state for their alleged participation in healthcare fraud, with 3 of those being charged out of the state. The most common charges include false statements to receive a health care payment and stealing by deceit in connection with Medicaid fraud. 2 of the complaints allege that the accused parties fraudulently pocketed more than $100,000. Michelle Terry, 48, of St. Peters, was charged with Medicaid fraud and stealing. Terry, who owns an adult daycare center, is accused of submitting false claims for purported services to 4 Medicaid recipients from May 2023 to September 2024, collecting roughly $114,000 in Medicaid funds in the process. Chantel Wilkes and Sandra Wilkes of St. Louis were charged with Medicaid fraud and stealing. The pair own Smiles Adult Daycare and are accused of submitting 1,400 false claims for adult daycare services that were not provided. Through the scheme, Medicaid paid the Wilkinses more than $121,000 for their services not provided. In total, the case cost the state more than $613,000, Missouri Attorney General Catherine Hanaway said in a news release. The U.S. Federal Bureau of Investigation states that healthcare fraud is defined as intentionally deceiving the healthcare system to receive illegal benefits or payments. It can be committed by medical providers, patients, and other individuals. The FBI lists the following as some of the most common types of healthcare fraud committed by medical providers: double billing, phantom billing, unbundling, and then upcoding. Common types of fraud committed by patients and other individuals include bogus marketing, identity theft or identity swapping, impersonating a healthcare professional. And then the most common types of fraud involving prescriptions included forgery, diversion, and then doctor shopping.
Oh, I'm really excited about this one. We have the new Mother Road exhibit. That is lowercase m, capital Other Road. That is exploring the African American influences on Route 66. Brian Smoot in the Springfield Daily Citizen brings us this story that begins with a photo of the Benton Avenue Educational Center that was newly renovated on the Drury University campus. In April of 1926, the Mother Road was born in the Queen City. Route 66 received its designation with a telegram sent from Springfield 100 years ago, an anniversary that has been widely celebrated throughout the city this year. But that's a story that everyone's heard. According to organizers of a new exhibit, there's a significant portion of the history of Route 66 that is often forgotten. The Mother Road, again, lowercase m, capital Other. The stories of African Americans on Route 66 exhibit may be a solution, a story every Springfieldian knows through a different pair of eyes. Quote, the dominant narrative of Route 66 foregrounds leisure, choice, and opportunity, while often not including the experiences of African American travelers, workers, and communities for whom mobility along the road was constrained, segregated lodging and eating establishments, and unevenly accessible, states a press release announcing the exhibit. The exhibit will be located in the recently renovated Benton Avenue Educational Center, formerly the Benton Avenue AME Church, which was once pastored by Oliver L. Brown, the lead plaintiff from Brown versus Board of Education, on the Drury University campus. Mother Road is the space's inaugural exhibit. It is open Wednesday through Saturday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Admission is free. Multiple components make up the exhibit, including banners, multimedia, research and artifacts from Ms. Alberta's Hotel, a hotel featured in the Green Book, a travel guidebook for African Americans published from 1936 to 1966 in the midst of Jim Crow laws and segregation. The Green Book plays a large part in the exhibit, which includes details on African American heritage trail markers on Route 66 and within Springfield. A mini documentary which utilizes archival footage will be played on loop in the exhibit. The film was created by local residents. Quote, it is fascinating to know the richness and depth of the Springfield African American community and the journey that has been undertaken here and the amazing contributions to our city and to our region. And I think this exhibit helps to celebrate that, said Lyle Foster, an associate professor at Missouri State University and an exhibition organizer. Foster is one of multiple MSU professors who helped create the exhibit based off of research done into Route 66 history. A research article has also spawned from the group. The exhibit will be showing on Benton Avenue until August 29th, but there may be a future in other towns as well. Quote, we've got many more months to celebrate the 100th year anniversary, but we're hoping people will want to see it in other places, Foster said. And if you do not know Dr. Lyle Foster, I highly encourage you to get out in the community and meet him and hear these stories firsthand. You will often find him at Big Mama's Coffee down on C Street, as that is his business.
I do love a good cup of coffee from Big Mama's. I usually try to get it first thing in the morning.
Definitely catch Dr. Foster and hear about this exhibit.
Will do. MU celebrates expansion of Springfield Medical School. About 300 turn out for a ribbon cutting that celebrates a major Mizzou expansion in Springfield. University President Mun Choi said other expansions could be in the future. Maya Greenquist is excited for her third year of medical school. After graduating from Missouri Southern State University in Joplin, she started her pursuit of a medical doctorate degree at the University of Missouri's Columbia campus. She's just finished a move to Springfield and is looking forward to finishing her degree in Southwest Missouri. I never lived in a college town before, Greenquist said, so that was an adjustment of how I didn't realize how busy the streets would get during game days. I've been there. Greenquist was one of about 20 MU medical students in a crowd of about 300 in attendance for a ribbon-cutting ceremony Wednesday, June 24th. The university celebrated the School of Medicine Springfield campus opening at its new property, located on the Jack Henry campus near Battlefield Road and Highway 65. When the fall semester starts, the building will host Springfield area students across 4 cohorts, a change from the model MU used last year. Previously, students such as Greenquist attended their first 2 years in Columbia, then could finish their final 2 years including clinicals at the old Springfield campus on National Avenue. David Haustein, Associate Dean, said the expansion will give students get situated in the Ozarks more quickly and effectively. It's a little bit disruptive to move halfway through your education, Haustein said. The fact of getting to spend all of your years in one community is really an opportunity for them to build relationships and put down roots. We're really excited for the opportunities that they will have. During the event, the opening of the clinic was described as a game changer by several of the speakers. While it represents a new footprint in the University of Missouri, it is also a continued partnership between the university and Springfield's 2 major healthcare systems. Students complete clinicals at Cox Health and Mercy Springfield Centers. MU President Mun Choi said that the campus represents the growth of all partnerships involved. This partnership, which began about 10 years ago, has now blossomed into a 4-year medical degree program, Choi said. What I'm most excited about is that these students are going to graduate and will continue to serve Springfield and the surrounding rural regions. For us, that is really meeting the land grant mission that we have at the university. Similar to Missouri State University's public affairs mission, MU has a land grant mission that emphasizes providing the benefits of a world-class research university to all the state's residents. Unlike Missouri State's mission, which has enshrined by the state legislature, MU's mission has been embedded since 1870, when the state accepted the provisions of the 1862's Morrill Act and received federal land for its campus. That has been important for increasing the number of doctors and other healthcare professionals. A shortage of practicing physicians is expected to get worse in the coming years, and 90% of Missouri's counties currently don't have enough doctors. State Senator Lincoln Hughes said that the model found at MU's medical school is an outstanding example of how to address that shortage. He said the process can be made when agencies look past rivalries and work together. He also said investing in education is an outstanding tool for boosting the state's economy. You know what the best economic development tool is in the world? Education. Hughes said during the event, it's making sure that the next generation has every single opportunity that we can possibly give them. And if we all work together and if we all pool our resources, we can get out of our own ways, and this is what you will see. MU's expansion plan for its medical school calls for accepting cohorts of 32 students in 2027. By 2030, it hopes to have 128 students in Springfield, bringing its entire enrollment across both campuses to more than 670 students. The university also opened up a new admissions program that ensures Springfield area students can transfer into available spots. Troy said afterward that the progress made at the medical school could pave the way for more Tigers in the city. He said that the system's 4 universities have programs that could be expanded to Springfield, such as Missouri S&T's engineering. The university may also elevate the need for a law school here. Troy said that will be difficult, with university funding expecting to decrease in the coming years, but the university remains committed to developing and expanding its Springfield campus. Every organization has their priorities, and that they will be investing in, regardless of the financial situation, Troy said. This is that priority because so many people depend on the education that we provide that eventually leads to clinical care. And if not us, who else will do it? We are deeply committed.
And the remediation of a downtown property aims to improve water quality and encourage revitalization. Jack McGee with the Springfield Daily Citizen brings us this story that begins with a photo of a lot downtown. I think is the best way I can describe that. It is a concrete and gravel lot with a lot of weeds. In the background, you can see some of our more dilapidated downtown buildings. As part of a broader effort to improve water quality in Jordan Creek and encourage downtown revitalization, city utilities will begin environmental remediation of a former manufactured natural gas plant at 333 North Main Avenue. Springfield Gas and Electric and its predecessor companies operated the plant from the 1870s through the early 1900s, according to a press release from CU. CU and the city of Springfield recently acquired the property from BNSF Railway. The 4.3-acre parcel is located between Grant Avenue and Main Avenue, just west of the Renew Jordan Creek project area. Water quality and downtown revitalization are also key objectives of the Renew Jordan Creek project. Upon completion, Phase 1 will feature a new urban plaza overlooking the creek, flanked by a green space of native plantings, tree-lined walkways connected to the trail network, and other urban amenities. The remediation project, expected to take 5 to 7 months, involves the removal of 22,000 to 30,000 tons of impacted soils and residual materials down to the bedrock, 18 to 20 feet below the surface grade. Prior to excavation, a contractor will remove former foundations and concrete. No immediate threat to public health has been identified, according to CU. A temporary structure will be used to control odors during most of the excavation, and CU will work with the city and its contractor to limit impacts to nearby residents and businesses. Pending final state approvals, work is scheduled to begin in late July and wrap up in early 2027. Work hours will be from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday, and some Saturdays at reduced hours. CU will hold a public open house on Monday, June 29th at the Transit Center's community room, located at 211 North Main Avenue, to discuss the project and answer questions. That meeting will take place from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m.
Here we have Midbest Cranky Fest brings 18th century art form to life. Sandy Green Baker remains the Ozarks' most ardent cranky evangelist. She convinced Springfield musician and artist Abby Waterworth to take part in this weekend's Midbest Cranky Fest with a very simple sales pitch. I came back from camping last year and went to the Cranky Fest, Waterworth recalled on June 22nd, and I think she pointed at me, next year, and I was gung-ho. I did not realize how much work it was going to take, but that would be fine. I'm having a good time, and it was fun for me to delve into something like this. You can see the results of Waterworth's hard work and Green Baker's at the second annual Midbest Cranky Fest, June 25th through the 28th at the Shoe Tree Listening Room inside Aero Creative's Reuse. These moving panoramas date back to the 18th century. Green Baker, a retired art teacher, has been aboard the cranky bandwagon for years. It started nearly a decade ago when Ree Baker Dietz, her daughter and the founder of Aero Creative Reuse, was a student at Missouri State University. Baker Dietz made a cranky for a class project, and Green Baker fell in love immediately. I was like, oh my gosh, this is exactly what I want to do, Green Baker said. I started stalking people online who had been doing crankies for a while, and then I went to John C. Campbell Folk School in North Carolina and I took a class. And from then, I've just been trying to teach people here. Crankies first appeared in Europe in the 18th century, and the moving panoramas arrived in America in the 19th century. Artists start with a long scroll of flexible material like paper or vellum and illustrate, paint, or embellish it to tell a story. The ends of the scroll are wound around 2 spools. Those spools are loaded into a box with a window opening, think like an old school TV minus the screen, and hand cranks are affixed on either side of the cabinet's top. One person slowly hand cranks the scroll to reveal the illustrated story, while the other person narrates, sings, or performs music, and perhaps even all 3. I've always had a love of illustration, storytelling, live music, theater, and puppetry, Greenbaker said. She's not the only one who finds Crankies scratch several itches. It's like a crossover of all the things that I really enjoy, Waterworth said. It's storytelling, and then the history component is something that I really love. It's incredibly visual. There's shadows, puppetry work, which is something that I hope to get more into, and then there's music, the song that goes with it. It's just a conjunction of all the things that I really enjoy. Waterworth has been singing in Springfield for years and has shared stages with artists also including Ozark Mountain Daredevils and Pokey Lafarge. She was also featured in the historic Galois Theater Ghost Light Session series. Raised on bluegrass, her music today spans several genres, including Americana, folk, indie, pop, and country. She released her first album in 2016. The clever native did a ton of visual art in high school, mostly focused on collage and book arts, but that took a backseat to music while she studied art history in college. And then I became obsessed with fiber arts about 4 years ago, and I delved into that, she said. I started doing spinning, weaving, knitting, dyeing, and cloth making. I did a fiber arts apprenticeship for climate activists, got super into that, and then recently I started making nature prints. So that's something I'm doing, block printing and nature printing. And now Crankies are her new artistic obsession. She thinks it's been a huge experiment. Waterworth also crochets little bald knobber masks. Those masks inspired her Crankies for the Midwest Mid-Best Cranky Fest. I just had a real-life fascination with the image of the mask, and I thought it would lend itself really well to a Cranky because they just look so weird. I've lived here forever, and I have a real interest in Ozarks histories, and I didn't know the bald knobber stories very well. So I started to listen to things about the story and do some reading and contacted people like Curtis Copeland, who is a real expert. All of that research left Waterworth with a lot to distill into one cohesive story. She wrote an original song, but it ended up as a list of names, places, and years. It was terrible, she said. And then she discovered the Ballad of the Bald Knobbers, also known as Bald Knobber Song. The satirical folk song was written by Andrew Cogburn in the 1880s. I learned that Nate Kinney, the leader of the Bald Knobbers, killed the guy who wrote the song, and so then I realized there it is. There's the central conflict. There's a protagonist and an antagonist, and there's a story between good and bad, and you have to figure out who's good and who's bad. It makes sense for this project. Waterworth narrates a bit and also sings and plays banjo during her presentation of the Ballad of the Bald Knobbers. She'll also be accompanied by Jill Hoffman on guitar. She says she's been working on her Cranky for 14 weeks and toiling until midnight every night for the last month or so. Her Cranky is made on a white vellum with black Tyvek, as well as black acrylic, red cellophane, glue, and tape. All of the letters on her Cranky were hand cut out of Tyvek and then with an X-Acto knife. The Ballad of the Bald Knobbers is just one of more than 20 Crankies that will be featured during the Midwest Mid-Best Cranky Fest. The festival opens with a concert on June 25th at Springfield area hillbilly band Little Jones performs at 7 p.m. Several Crankies will also be presented. Festivities also start at 7 p.m. on June 26th. That night features an encore performance by last year's Cranky students. This crew played 2 sold-out shows at last year's Cranky Fest. June 27th is the festival's busiest day from 10 a.m. to noon. A workshop will teach the public how to make their own mini matchbook Cranky. For $15, guests will walk themselves through a set of simple step-by-step instructions. Expert will be able to help, and all supplies will be provided. There are also 2 Cranky artist showcases at 2 p.m. and 7 p.m. on Saturday. They're already sold out. Cranky artists include Waterworth, Greenbaker, Mo, Alfie, Callahan, Abby Ellers, Lisa Nix James, Nancy Curtis Ryan, Susan Atterbury Smith, and Jan Van Schuvier. Accompanists and narratists also include Baker Dietz, Hoffman, Michael A. Cochran, Tom Ellers, Emily Higgins, Kashena Northtrip, Barry Smith, and Darren Wine. The Midwest Midbest Cranky Fest concludes Sunday, June 28th with a Cranky Gospel Hour. Biblically inspired new work in cranky form will be shared at 2 p.m., accommodated by a local bluegrass collective. Debbie Gilly came last year and asked why there weren't any biblical crankies, Greenbaker said. I told her that just wasn't the route the artist chose to take, and she said, well, I want to help next year. Gilly taught herself how to make a cranky, then passed that knowledge on to Sunday school teachers at her church. Those teachers in turn taught their students. So on Sunday, it's going to be Eudora Baptist Church doing a presentation with the bluegrass band that's going to be filling in between set changes. Greenbaker won't rest too much after the Midwest Midbest Cranky Fest ends. She has a trip planned for her festival to Cincinnati to see the organizers run their program and maybe get some tips and tricks. She wants to see her own festival continue to grow. Right now, they have cranky festivals in Seattle, New York, Chicago, Baltimore, Atlanta, but there was nothing happening in the Midwest, she said. After I got attached to crankies, I thought, okay, this is going to be my goal to start this for our town. And it's been a real delight. It's been really hard work, but I really love it. She also plans to continue to curate the next generation of cranky creators. One thing that really tickled me this year was the youth, like Mo and Abby. I'm 70 and I really like doing this and I really want to keep it going, but I don't think I can do it by myself. Crankies are hard to explain. People don't always catch the magic of it until they actually get to see it. Waterworth certainly sees the magic. She too wants to help the old art form thrive in the Ozarks. I was just telling Sandy that I have so many ideas, she said, and people make little ones, so I'm going to have to make myself a little box so I can make scrolls. Support this stuff, she added. Support the weird stuff. This is just such a unique thing to have in Springfield, and we're lucky that Sandy has put so much work into this. Support it, get interested in it, get involved in it, because this is what makes this place fun.
And a new ambulance station in Crane aims to improve Stone County responses. Janice Reeser with the Springfield News-Leader says the Stone County Ambulance District celebrated the opening of a new station in Crane with a flag-raising ceremony. The station on State Highway 413 will house a paramedic crew 24 hours a day, according to a community announcement. The facility, completed in 9 months, was developed by Andy Mackey of Crane EMS under a lease purchase agreement with the district. Following is a photo of the new Stone County Ambulance District Station Fort in Crane. On State Highway 413, it houses the full paramedic ambulance crew 24 hours a day. It is a dark building with a dark roof. It appears to be some sort of black facade, and then it's got a pretty stone facade along the foundation. Jeff Hawkins, Executive Director of the Stone County Ambulance District, said that the opening represents a significant step in enhancing emergency medical services in the area. Raising the American flag at this station is more than a ceremony. It is a visible symbol of our commitment to protect and care for the people of northern Stone County, Hawkins said in the announcement. The station features 2 pull-through ambulance bays, crew quarters with a living room, kitchen, and bedrooms for up to 4 personnel. It also includes dedicated equipment and medical supply storage areas, essential utilities, and a backup generator. Quote, this station was built with growth in mind, Hawkins said in the announcement. As the population evolves, this facility has the capacity to grow with it. The new station is strategically positioned to improve response times and system deployment across the district. Mercy EMS began operating from the new station on June 22nd, according to the announcement. The transition was a collaborative effort between the district and Mercy EMS to ensure continuity of care. The crew members are appreciative of the ambulance district's work to provide the new facility. The facility design, location, and capacity for growth are a direct result of thoughtful strategic planning, Bob Patterson, Executive Director of Emergency Services for Mercy EMS, said in the announcement. During the ceremony, Crane Mayor Colin Brannon raised the American flag. Attendees joined in the Pledge of Allegiance, and Mercy Hospital staff provided a station blessing. Community members were then invited to tour the new facility, according to the announcement. The district also recognized Cox EMS for its many decades of service to the Crane area and northern Stone County.
And here on 417, we have a couple of things to do this weekend. So all the way from now until today and tomorrow, Josh Wolf, Springfield Comedy Club, 7 p.m. all nights, additional 9:45 p.m. shows Friday and Saturday. Funny man Josh Wolf stops in Springfield on his Touring Hard tour, boasting several sold-out dates already. He got his big break as a regular panelist on Chelsea Lately, but since then he's appeared on many other TV shows and has a weekly Las Vegas residency at the Jimmy Kimmel's Comedy Club. Tonight, Springfield Cardinals Cards Against Cancer at the Route 66 Stadium. Tickets starting at $11 at 7:05 p.m. Once every season, the Cardinals host Cards Against Cancer, a game dedicated to fighting cancer. Tickets include a themed t-shirt, and the game also coincides with fans on-field memory money, music, fireworks, and a red-on-white cap giveaway for the first 2,000 fans. And then we also have today and tomorrow Bass Pro Shop, Bowls, Bands, and Barrels Summer Jam at the Thunder Ridge Nature Arena. Single day tickets starting at $92 and 2 days starting at $153. Shows start at 5:30 p.m. Rodeo and country music collide over 2 nights at Thunder Ridge. Each evening opens with a high-energy bull riding, barrel racing, and freestyle bullfighting, then gives way to a full concert by John Party on Friday and then Hudson Westbrook on Saturday. Not a lot going on this weekend.
Yeah.
Good to enjoy the weather then.
We are broadcasting live from the Blind Community Thrift Store, the world's first retail store to use NaviLens to help navigate and inform blind and visually impaired individuals while shopping with little to no assistance. For more information, visit our website at www.blindcommunitythriftstore.com. And the Greene County Library is to get a grant that aims to boost early literacy for kids. Janice Reeser in the Springfield News-Leader says the Springfield Greene County Library Foundation has been awarded a $25,000 grant to support a new early literacy initiative. The funding from the Dar Family Foundation will go towards Ladders to Literacy, a program designed to enhance school readiness by providing child care providers with early literacy tools, according to a community announcement. The library district will partner with about 40 child care classrooms across Greene County, prioritizing those that serve children with the greatest needs. The 2-year initiative will provide early childhood providers with practical tools and training to incorporate research-based early literacy practices into their daily routines. The funding will support program development, educational materials, classroom resources, professional training, and books for participating children. Bridget Dirks, executive director of the Library Foundation, said that investing in early childhood education is one of the most effective ways the library can improve literacy outcomes for young children. We know that children from low-income households often face barriers while learning to read, Dirks said in the announcement. Our library district can help them by bringing reading tools, lessons, and fun activities directly to caregivers and educators so early literacy becomes part of their everyday interactions. The initiative builds on the library's Racing to Read Early Literacy framework and is part of the district's goal to connect new users and underserved communities with library programs and services, according to the announcement. Heather Zoromsky, executive director of the Dar Family Foundation, said that the foundation's mission is to empower under-resourced youth to overcome barriers to opportunity. The foundation recognizes that one of the most important indicators of a child's future success is early literacy, Zoromsky said in the announcement. We're excited about this partnership and grateful that we have an incredible library system providing these opportunities to our youngest readers. For more information about the library's strategic plan, you can visit thelibrary.org/standard-pages/mission-statement.
Billings receives DNR loan to improve wastewater system. The City of Billings has been awarded $688,000 loan from the Missouri Department of Natural Resources to help with planning and design work of its ongoing wastewater improvement project. The construction project is expected to cost a total of $6.2 million and start in 2027. These funds will provide interim financing to cover initial engineering and administrative costs while the city works with the department to secure a larger funding package for the wastewater project. According to the department, the loan will offset upfront costs at rates lower than private financing because it is offered at below market rates. The city is expected to save $133,000 in interest during the 5-year repayment plan. We will continue to fund upgrades to water infrastructure across Missouri to keep people healthy and to preserve our water resources while keeping customers' bills affordable, said Kurt Schaefer, director of the Department of Natural Resources, in this news release. The department's Clean Water State Revolving Fund finances improvements to wastewater treatment facilities, sewer collection system rehabilitation and extensions, and combined sewer overflow corrections. This project will be funded wholly or in part with monies received from the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency.
And we've got breaking news coming from Jackie Rewald in the Springfield Daily Citizen this morning, just published a few minutes ago. A former social worker and husband has been charged with child abuse and neglect in Webster County. A Rogersville woman, a former social worker turned foster and adoptive mother, has been charged with multiple counts of abuse or neglect of a child. Amanda Lynn Acree, born in 1986, is charged with 8 counts of Class D felony of abuse or neglect of a child. That's 1 count for each child investigators say are in her and her husband's custody. Her husband, Jason Acree, age 44, is facing the same charges. He has been arrested and remains in custody at the Webster County Jail on a $10,000 bond. The charges come after a Webster County deputy and children's division worker allegedly found the Acree home in Rogersville in very dirty and messy conditions on June 15th, with animal feces and urine in several of the children's rooms and beds. According to the probable cause statement, children's division workers have done several investigations at the Acree home in the past, but the workers had not checked the back of the house where the children lived prior to the June 15th visit. A Webster County judge granted a warrant for Amanda Acree's arrest on Wednesday, June 24th. Amanda Acree was not home when the deputy and children's division worker visited the Rogersville residence earlier this month, according to the probable cause statement. Jason Acree was home and told the investigators that Amanda Acree had left, quote, 2 weeks ago with some of their children to go to North Carolina to find a new home. According to the statement, Jason Acree allegedly attempted to explain the messy home by telling the investigators the family was in the process of packing and that he intended to hire a moving company to help him and the rest of the family move to North Carolina. The 5 children who were at the Rogersville residence on June 15th were taken into Children's Division custody. The publicly available charging documents do not disclose where the 3 remaining children in the Acree's custody are located. According to the probable cause statement, the Webster County Sheriff's Office was contacted by a Children's Division worker on June 15th asking for assistance with an investigation of a dirty house. A deputy contacted the CD worker who told the deputy that there had been several investigations done at the residence in the past. Once I got to the door of the residence, I was immediately hit by a foul odor of rotting food and the smell of cat feces, the deputy wrote, adding that there were a lot of packing boxes cluttered at the door, which made it hard to enter through the front door. Jason showed us the kitchen. I noticed empty food containers and trash scattered all around the counter. I also saw trash covering the floor of the kitchen. The deputy went on to describe conditions in the laundry room as having full trash bags full of molding trash lying on the floor, along with dirty clothes and towels. The deputy described one of the bedrooms where some of the children slept as having trash on the floor and on the dresser and stains covering the bed. In the probable cause statement, the deputy described finding multiple beds where the children slept with animal feces and urine on them as well as on the floor. In another bedroom, the deputy said he, quote, had to walk over a diaper which was filled with human poop and pee, which was lying in the middle of the floor. The deputy also described the basement as also having animal feces and urine all over the floor. The deputy noted in the report that Jason Acree's bedroom was in imminent condition compared to the rest of the residence, with no trash found or odor. Jason Acree spoke with the News-Leader in 2020 after Amanda Acree had been seriously injured in a one-vehicle accident in Springfield. Then 34, Amanda Acree had suffered a broken wrist and ankle, shattered femur, and broken ribs. Her right leg was amputated. Jason Acree told the reporter in 2020 that Amanda Acree was a licensed social worker and counselor who had worked for Children's Division for about 6 years. Jason Acree said Amanda Acree opened the now-defunct Thrive Family Support Services, a private practice counseling office in Marshfield in 2017, according to the 2020 News-Leader article. Department of Social Services documents show Thrive Family Support Services had an office in South Springfield in 2025. At the time of the crash, the Acrees had 8 children in their home, then ages 1 through 14. Of those, 1 was Amanda's biological child, 3 were adopted, and 4 were siblings who, at the time, were in foster care. Also at that time, the couple was in the process of taking in another baby. Any identifying information about the children who were in the home when a children's division worker and deputy visited earlier this month is redacted in the charging documents.
This also just in about 13 minutes ago, a TikTok video about sex offenders in James River Church inaccurate. An Ozarks church is facing questioning after a social media user known for her baby formula quote-unquote social experiment posted a video of a phone call with the church, though it alleges the caller was misleading and that the new employee who answered it gave inaccurate responses. Nikaylee Monroe posted a video on June 25th, which I did also see on my feed, where she called James River Church South in Ozark and is told by the receptionist that someone who has been convicted of child sexual abuse can attend services. As of Friday morning, the video has more than 8,000 likes and more than 500 saves and nearly 2,000 shares. I am one of those. In an emailed statement, James River Church said the Monroe's questions were misleading and manipulative and that the receptionist handling the call was newly employed and not yet fully trained to handle this type of calculated interaction, and that registered sex offenders are not permitted on any campus without prior approval and a signed attendance agreement. Monroe is known for her viral videos where she calls churches and places of worship, testing their willingness to provide assistance by posing as a mother asking for formula. Most recently, she's been posting a series of videos where her questions address the safety of children in the church, posing as a woman whose husband is a registered sex offender who abused their daughter. The video featuring James River Church is part 25. I was wanting to see if me, my husband, and 8-year-old daughter could attend Sunday. It's just he's a registered sex child offender, and I wanted to see if it would be an issue if we came, Monroe said in the video, adding that he's not supposed to be around kids. The receptionist tells her she thinks it should be okay for them to attend, though a statement from James River Church says any registered sex offender who desires to attend must first contact the church. Each request is then carefully reviewed, and approvals are not automatic or unconditional. These approvals may be revoked at any time. Monroe also asked about whether the children's ministry teaches forgiveness, as her hypothetical daughter was the one her husband was abusing when she was 4, so she's kind of getting older, and I'm wanting her to get back into church and realize that she should forgive him. The receptionist responds that yes, the children's ministry teaches forgiveness, but does not address sexual abuse. We do not pressure or encourage victims to engage with those who have harmed them in any way. The safety, healing, and well-being of victims is our first and unwavering priority. Any claims to the contrary are false, James River Church said in its statement. Monroe asks if she needs to let someone know that they plan on attending on Sunday or if they should just keep it between her and the receptionist, and the receptionist transfers Monroe to the pastor on call but gets voicemailed. According to the statement from James River Church, registered sex offenders must first contact the church before attending services. In 2018, James River pastor Jack Smart spoke on behalf of William M. Walker at a sentencing hearing, according to a previous News-Leader reporting. Walker was a Branson man convicted of downloading over 174,000 images and 4,800 videos of child sexual abuse imagery, and he said that he had gotten treatment through James River Church. Jack Smart, who identified himself as a longtime friend of Walker, said Walker had changed since his arrest and now exudes qualities of the Boy Scout law, the article reported. James River Church emailed the following statement to the News-Leader on June 24, 2026, in response to a request about policies and guidelines. In recent days, a video clip has circulated on TikTok posted by influencer Nikaylee Monroe, who is widely known for producing clickbait content designed to manufacture gotcha moments. In this instant, Miss Monroe contacted James River Church by phone and, through a series of misleading and manipulative questions, was able to elicit inaccurate responses from one of our new receptionists. We want to be clear. The information provided during that call does not reflect the policies, values, or practices of James River Church. The employee who took that call was newly employed and was not yet fully trained to handle this type of calculated interaction. We take full responsibility for that gap in training that created the opportunity for inaccuracy, and we are actively addressing it. The physical and emotional safety of every person who walks through our doors, especially children, is something we take with the utmost seriousness. It is not a secondary concern. It is a core commitment. We do not pressure or encourage victims to engage with those who have been harmed in any way. The safety, healing, and well-being of victims is our first and unwavering priority. Any claims on the contrary are false. Our policy is clear. Any registered sex offender who desires to attend must first contact the church. Each request is carefully reviewed, and then approvals are not automatic or unconditional. These approvals may be revoked at any time. Our child safety protocols include the following. James River exists to serve the community and reach people with the love of Christ. We are committed to welcoming people with compassion while protecting every person who attends.
And a new concept is going to open in the former Ernie Biggs space downtown. Jeff Pickle, digital editor with the Springfield Business Journal, brings us this article that says a newly founded entertainment concept is taking the place of Ernie Biggs' dueling piano bar in downtown Springfield. Ethan Brown said he and wife Haley are targeting an August 1st opening for Biggs Downtown, located at 312 South Avenue. The two also co-own Shot Shack and 417 Pedal Tours. While the Biggs Downtown name pays homage to Ernie Biggs, the two are separate concepts. We wanted something that honored the past with Biggs and something that celebrated our community in downtown, so that's where the name came from, Brown said. Downtown Springfield has so much potential and so much to offer, and we hope to see more people join us downtown. Brown said Biggs Downtown would have a full bar and offer entertainment such as concerts, burlesque, drag, and theatrical events. Additionally, the concept is planning brunch shows on Sundays. Biggs Downtown's first act will be touring artist Jed Harrelson on Halloween. Startup costs have been roughly $70,000 to date, Brown said. He declined to disclose the financial terms of the 5-year lease rate. The building is owned by Kessler Properties, LLC, according to Greene County Assessor records. Biggs Downtown aims to keep the mural painted on the front of the building, but the company is considering changing the name on it to Biggs Downtown in the future. It currently has the Ernie Biggs name and dueling piano players. Ernie Biggs closed the space in January 2025, according to past Springfield Business Journal reporting.
Business is personal for Frozen Custard CEO. Last edited this morning at 8:33. Andy Kuntz can't seem to stop scrolling through social media. The CEO of Andy's Frozen Custard Inc. was taken aback by the backlash among some members of the public to his request for $32 million in Chapter 100 industrial development bonds from the city of Springfield. It's frustrating to us, Kuntz said in a June 23rd interview in his current company headquarters. There's a huge misunderstanding that we're getting all this money from the city to build a new headquarters. Not only are we not getting a dime from the city, we're paying them. Kuntz estimated that in time, the development of a new HQ at the corner of East Division Street and Lecomte Road would bring in many times more property tax revenue than the property generates now, an estimated $2,600 per year in recent times, according to a city staff report. At a June 22nd Springfield City Council meeting, that body approved a resolution that merely signaled its willingness to issue $32 million in bonds as requested by Andy's Frozen Custard officials. The actual vote on whether the issue of the bond is a later step in the process, but the initial vote gives the company sufficient confidence to put its plans into place. Chapter 100 of the revised statutes of Missouri allows local government to issue bonds to provide property tax abatement for industrial development projects and certain types of commercial development for private corporations, partnerships, and individuals. The staff explanation of the council bill states, if bonds are ultimately approved and issued, ownership of the property under development is transferred to the city of Springfield for a declared period of time. Andy is seeking about a 25-year agreement. The city is tax exempt, and it passes its tax exempt status to a property for the duration of the agreement. The city's tax exempt status may also be used to purchase building materials without paying state and local sales tax. Bond proceeds are used to fund construction, with the company buying the bonds and repaying them over a 25-year term. When bonds are completely repaid, the title to the property is conveyed back to the company. Throughout the agreement, the company pays the city payments in lieu of taxes, or pilots, that equate to a portion of the exempt property taxes, the explanation of the bill states. Chapter 100 bonds are part of a wide array of development incentives offered by Springfield. The website of the city's Department of Workforce and Economic Vitality lists incentives including special tax districts and tax increment financing, small businesses, loan programs, and property tax abatement, which is how Chapter 100 bonds are classified. The day after the council meeting, Kuntz said reading coverage of council agreement in the principle to issuing the bonds, and he was also looking at the public response to the news. Some headlines erroneously stated that council had approved the bonds, and that's not the case. Even Springfield Business Journal ended up correcting a headline goof that said the city was willing to extend a $32 million tax abatement to the company. The bonds themselves, if issued, would be valued at $32 million, and the abatement would be calculated as a portion of that amount. Specifically, the level of tax abatement requested by Andes over the 25-year term of the bond agreed it's 90% for the first 10 years, 75% for the next 5, and 60% for the 5 years that follow, and 50% for the last 5, as previously reported in Springfield Business Journal. Kuntz said that he wants his company to remain in Springfield. We bought that land, we'd love to be out there, and we think it's a great area. It's certainly our first priority to build our home headquarters in Springfield, Missouri, but we really need this. He added that the reality is that another community would provide incentives at the proposed level or more. We haven't really gone down that avenue. We're pretty certain that if we got into the weeds on this with Kansas City or somewhere like that, it would probably be, quite honestly, more than what we're asking for, but we want it to be here. Kuntz said he loves Springfield and where the company has been for 39 years. His children have graduated from local schools and one still lives here. We think it's a great spot for what we're doing and wanting to do. It would really give us the ability to build a unique Andes campus, he said. With stores in 15 states, some franchised and some corporately owned, Kuntz said once or twice a year, all managers and assistant managers are brought in for training. They're all staying in hotels and we're all eating in restaurants and having food catered in here. We envision a unique office space that attracts grade A talent and want to come and live in Springfield, Missouri. And not only come here for the training, but come and live here and work here. Design is important to Kuntz. A lot of design thought has gone into it in creating open light spaces for great working environments. It's just been frustrating to us to read some of the comments, and I get it, it's just a small percentage probably. It just felt like a lot to me. It's like, gosh, this thing is really messed up. People think we're getting all this money, and the reality is we're not getting any. We've asked for a little help when it comes to property tax and sales tax exemption. Kuntz said he believes his company's request is fair and appropriate to make. That doesn't help him stomach the criticism. We're a public-facing business here. These are our customers, and we're sensitive to that staff, and we're told to just ignore it, but that's easier said than done. Andes has 190 stores, so Kuntz is used to construction expenses. Stores today are almost $2 million to build, and by the time you put equipment in them and buy the land, it's well over $3 million, he said. That's real money that it takes to grow the business and provide jobs. Kuntz said the job growth projections in his company's proposal are conservative, with incremental additions of 5 employees in each of the first 2 years of the agreement and 3 more in the 2 years that follow. The reality is it's probably more than 5 or 6 a year every year, he said. We just wanted to be able to give a number that we could live up to. The capacity of the space that we're talking about building would be almost 100 employees, and we have 55 today. He added that $32 million is an all-in number. It's likely that we won't get to that number. Robert De La Fuente, Andy's director of real estate, said that the investment reaches the $32 million mark or not, the investment is made on the company's dime, and it's not a handout from the city. That's the biggest miscommunication that frustrates everyone, he said. We're funding all the expenses to look at and negotiate a potential deal, and funding and financing the entire cost, whatever they may be. Kuntz added that the tax abatements will fund the hires of 1 or 2 people per year. While Andes is headquartered in Springfield, Kansas City is also an option for Kuntz. We could have said nothing and gone to Kansas City and probably got every bit of this, and it would have made no noise at all other than Andes is moving to Kansas City. We could have very quietly just went and done something else. Kuntz has stressed that he was never threatening to locate the headquarters in Kansas City, but that it was a practical option for the company. He said he was born there and he owns a residence there. His daughter lives there, and so does the company president. There are about 15 Andy's frozen custard locations within that city. But Kuntz can't easily ignore the social media comments about his company's Chapter 100 proposal, as he takes a moment during his interview to read a few, though he does not specify the thread. One commenter quips that he will deposit 600 roaches at the new headquarters if he doesn't receive free ice cream for the year. Another complains that the ugly buildings on Division suggested the city would do better to tear them all down. Kuhn said everyone tells him to not read comments, but he says that those are his customers and that his community and the feedback stings. De La Fuente said pilots are the portion of the company pays, and pilots are modeled on an estimated value of the future tax stream, with $32 million on the high end. Kuhn said that taxes on the current headquarters are about $40,000 per year, and he believes the new property will remit double the amount. The pilots would have the company paying percentages of the value in addition to the existing base level taxation of $2,600, which does not go away. While Andy's officials outlined the benefits from the Chapter 100 bond incentive, there are some who oppose the use of the tool. Pilots generate money to support local entities, but at a generally discounted rate, impacting potential revenue to school districts, libraries, and emergency services. Without development, taxation is limited to the value of the existing land used. However, the area near West Division and Le Capont Road is one of the city's new hotspots for industrial development, with a 390-acre skylight surface park plated above the Springfield Underground and with recent infrastructure improvements literally paving the way to industrial growth. Residential development is also in the works with the 510-unit East Division Development LLC project that is currently stalled by a lawsuit from nearby residents. In short, pilot payments from Chapter 100 incentivize agreements and can generate revenue for taxing entities, but greater revenue is possible if companies are willing to develop in the same location without the use of the incentive. The Chapter 100 incentive has been used elsewhere in the city of Springfield, according to a past Springfield Business Journal reporter. Developer Optus Northwest LLC in 2009 negotiating $21.5 million in Chapter 100 bonds to construct what would become the Forvis Mazars building at 910 East St. Louis Street, with 100% abatement for the first 10 years and 50% for the next 15. Council has also given the go-ahead 3 times for Chapter 100 bonds for expansions of production lines at Kraft Heinz, with up to $26 million approved in the 2012, and then $36 million in 2016 and $48 in the 2020 year, according to past Springfield Business Journal reporting.
And the World Cup draws soccer faithful to C Street. I know Mumbles 1888 has been doing some fun things. Karen Crago, reporter for the Springfield Business Journal, brings us this story with a photo of Mumbles 1888 here. We have some fans watching the game. We've got someone that's banging his head on the bar, someone else holding his head in shock and awe, and some fellas who might have been a little bit happier at what happened on the screen and seemed to be laughing at the others. Nearly all seats were filled at 8 p.m. on June 16th at Mumbles 1888 on a commercial street, except for those moments when they weren't. Fans were up and cheering throughout the night as Lionel Messi, soccer superstar and captain of the Argentinian team, pulled off a hat trick. That trio of goals propelled his team to a 3-0 win over Algeria in group stage play in the FIFA World Cup. Prior to the game, Mumbles 1888 general manager Bailey Turner wasn't sure what kind of crowd to expect late on a Tuesday in the summer. The business enjoys a boost from student customers when local universities are in session, and Mondays and Tuesdays are statistically the slowest nights of the week in the hospitality industry. However, Turner said every game of the World Cup has brought out customers, whether the kickoff has been at 11 a.m. or 11 p.m. People show up every match, even really late, he said. We stay open for them. Mumbles 1888 has been working to activate the east end of the Commercial Street Business District from its spot at 504 East Commercial Street, where it opened before sunrise on February 7th to welcome fans of the British Premier League soccer. The bar is the brainchild of Neil and Christina Chanter, who own Springfield Brewing Company and another distillery in downtown Springfield. It is Neil's love of soccer that led to the establishment of the soccer-themed pub on C Street. The street was activated in a big way Friday, June 12th, with a World Cup kickoff block party all day, both outside and inside of Mumbles 1888 and nearby in the district. The event included inflatables, games, live music, and tailgating, and Turner estimated a turnout of about 1,000 soccer fans that celebrated the start of the World Cup play. The night culminated in the U.S. opener, a 4-1 win versus Paraguay. Justin Byler, co-owner with his wife, Karen, of Eurasia Coffee and Tea, helped plan and host the block party with Turner. Byler said the block party was so popular that fans half asked for more. Naturally, the C Street business community was eager to comply. With the U.S. team scheduled to take on Australia at 2 p.m. June 19th, the party would continue, Byler said. He said Rathbone Ace Hardware, Mumble's 1888's next-door neighbor, offered a covered area in the back of the store, a space typically used for storage and, until now, filled with stuff, as an overflow viewing area for World Cup play. It's a caged area that's covered from the sun, so you'll be able to see the screen, Byler said. We're setting up as Springfield's World Cup fan zone out there. In advance of the event, neighborhood people were helping to clear out the area, setting up a screen and hanging world flags for the next watch party, Byler said. A soccer fan who grew up in Vienna, Byler is in for all of it. On the day of his phone interview, June 17th, Byler said that he was up until 1 a.m. to watch Austria vanquish Jordan 3-1 in group stage play. When Neil started coming around and saying he was going to open up a soccer pub across the street from us, I felt like that's the best business that could have gone there, he said. One notable aspect of the kickoff event, also anticipated for the watch party, is that the activity gets things moving on a part of Commercial Street that isn't as frequently activated, Byler said. Typically, special events are held in the area of the Jefferson Avenue Footbridge Plaza, 3 blocks west of Mumble's 1888 and 2 blocks west of Eurasia. Visitors park nearby and walk past the East End businesses to get to the fun, Byler said. Friday, I was walking down to Pizza House to get pizza for my kids, and everyone was walking east to come to the party on the east side, he said. That was fun to see. The people with businesses surrounding Mumble's 1888 are fully on board to help with the event, he added. That includes Rathbone Ace Hardware, but it also includes Askinosie Chocolate LLC, with owner Sean Askinosie providing power for screens and lights, and it includes the Glow Center, an LGBTQ community center, which is providing internet. All the neighbors have come together and are making this what we hope to be a real asset for the community, something to pull us all together for the next 5 weeks, he said. The occasion has also allowed the Bylers to preview a new product, homemade ice cream. In the near future, when the Jefferson Avenue footbridge is expected to be open for traffic across the railroad tracks, Eurasia Coffee and Tea plans to sell the frozen confection from a window in the back, the part of the property facing the tracks. For now, soccer fans can buy ice cream in the front of the store, whether their flavor preference is traditional vanilla or Askinosie chocolate, or a miso caramel swirl flavor based on a popular coffee product at the store. They also have lavender ice cream for the floral stroll. We've got to do something unique if people are going to make the trip to Commercial Street, he said. We want to do something you can't get somewhere else. Last night's crowd at Mumble's 1888 also had a diverse group pulling together. Slightly quieter than the Argentinian fans was Ferhat Shaush of Elkland, a first-timer at the establishment. Shaush, who spent the first 28 years of his life in Algeria before moving to the U.S., said he had not been to the bar previously, but he was excited to find a place to watch the game. While the crowd howled when what looked like a first goal by Argentina was recalled, and again it would appear to be a goal by Algeria, also soon recalled, Shaush gave a couple of subtle fist bumps. Others in Mumble's 1888 also reported that the night was their first time in the establishment and on C Street. Seated at the bar was a couple who were visiting the city from out of town and found a place to watch the game through an internet search. Ditto, a table of 4 women of mixed ages in from the town of Nevada to pick someone up from the airport and catching a game before heading home. Turner said World Cup play offers casual observers a chance to get to know the beautiful game. Every match is exciting, he said. He added that soccer is now the 3rd most popular sport in the United States. This checks out with data from The Economist, which last year reported that soccer has overtaken baseball and lags only behind American football and basketball, with 10% of Americans calling it their favorite sport. We think it's going to keep climbing, Turner said. There's something unique about it. It's fun, and it's a team-heavy game to watch. It really draws people in, and the World Cup is going to help step that up to another level. Turner added that the bar is modeled in part after a St. Louis soccer bar he called the Amsterdam Tavern. They opened their doors to us and told us what works and what doesn't, he said. Me and Neil are fans of the sport, and we knew a community of people was here looking for somewhere to watch matches. Drawing soccer fans to Mumble's 1888 also draws new patrons to C Street, Turner noted. He said when people at Friday's block party were asked if they had visited the street before, at least 3 out of 4 said they had never been there or hadn't been in a long time. We love that, he said. They get to see how cool our community is. And I will remind folks that C Street does run from Askinosie Chocolate all the way down to the Old White River Brewing Company. That is a half mile. So once you walk the street, you have done a full mile loop. And looking at Mumble's 1888 social media page, they are open today. They opened at 11 a.m. this morning. The schedule is packed. At 2 p.m., they have Senegal versus Iraq, Norway versus France. 7 p.m. is Cape Verde versus Saudi Arabia, and Uruguay versus Spain. And at 10 p.m., we have Egypt versus Iran and New Zealand versus Belgium. And last I checked, they do have the cage open. I know it was open last night. I believe it's open today. It is covered, rain or shine. Get out there and have some fun.
All right, I got a quick one here. Downtown mural to be relocated. A downtown mural is moving but not going far. The mural called Make Something Where You Are was removed yesterday from the Newberry building on Park Central Square, according to a news release from Better Block SGF. It's scheduled to be relocated at the Holler and Music venue in the works off the square later this summer. Part of Better Block SGF's mission is to work with partners to install movable public art. The move demonstrates exactly why we launched this program in the first place. Public art can help the story of a place generate community interest and create momentum around transformational projects. We're excited to see this mural continue serving Springfield in a new way. The release indicates a Newberry building has new ownership who plan to use the property. Greene County Assessor records show the Newberry building has been owned by Newberry Complex, LLC, since August 2025. That LLC was registered with the Missouri Secretary of State's office in July 2025 by Kevin Willis.
And it looks like a downtown drink shop is changing ownership. Mike Cullinan, reporter for the Springfield Business Journal, says that a longtime educator is making a professional pivot by taking over ownership of a downtown drink shop. Debbie Wells, along with her husband Chris, are the new owners of Modern Sips Acai Bar at 323 East Walnut Street. Wells said she bought the business on June 1st from Michael Elder, who had owned the shop since October 2023. The purchase price was undisclosed. Wells said she's among the shop's 4 employees, which include the couple's 2 daughters, Madeline Mackey and Isabel Wells. The Wellses own the business via MDI Collective, LLC, she added. The menu at Modern Sips includes acai bowls with toppings such as fruit, granola, honey, Nutella, and peanut butter, as well as protein smoothies and energy drinks. The shop also offers hot and iced coffee options, including cappuccinos and espressos. Wells has spent the past 15 years as a teacher in the Republic School District, most recently working as a digital content specialist. She also previously worked for the district as a librarian at Price Elementary School. However, she said it was her work as a part-time real estate agent with Keller Williams Local, formerly Keller Williams Greater Springfield, that connected her to the ownership opportunity with Modern Sips. Elder also is an agent with Keller Williams, and he posted on Facebook about the business being up for sale. It piqued my interest. I gave him a call, and he was just saying all the right words, and it just sounded really perfect to purchase it, she said. Wells also has past experience in the food service industry, she said, noting that she previously owned 2 locations of Garden Cafe restaurants in Republic and Springfield. She owned the Republic location from 2000 to 2008 and the Springfield one from 02 to 03, selling both eateries. The restaurants have since closed, she said. Entrepreneurship has always kind of been in my blood, Wells said. In the back of my mind, I just always kept my eyes out for an opportunity. Wells said she and her husband signed a 3-year lease for an undisclosed rate with Springfield Lofts, a division of Brentwood Management Incorporated. After closing on the business purchase, Wells said the 1,700 square foot shop was closed for over a week for renovations, reopening on June 9th. I would say the biggest change that we've made at this point is just the interior, she said, declining to disclose renovation costs. Michael didn't have a whole lot of furniture, tables, and chairs. While in the process of buying Modern Sips, Wells said she noticed the lack of furniture led to most customers purchasing their drinks as to-go orders. She's hopeful that the clientele, which she said seems to include a lot of college students, will stick around in the shop with more places to sit and relax. I envision more of a space that's more inviting, where we hope when school comes back into session that students will come hang out with us, do their homework, she said. We want to offer a comfortable space for people to come and hang out with their family and friends.
All right. Thank you for listening to the Blind Community Thrift Store radio reading service. Tune in every week, Monday through Friday, on the Blind Community Thrift Store's YouTube channel at 10 a.m. for more up-to-date news from the Springfield News-Leader, Springfield Daily Citizen, Springfield Business Journal, and the 417 magazine. Listen after we are live on the Audio Reader Network at www.reader.ku.edu. All broadcasters are played over KSMU's subcarrier airwaves at 67 kHz on 91.1 from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m., Monday through Friday. Contact Audio Reader Network for information on receiving a pre-programmed radio.